Of course, we're Forbes. We love our numbers. So, Suzanne, I have to ask you, how many flight delays or cancellations have we already seen this week? It's already quite hot here in New York. The week is just beginning. What do we need to know about the flights that have been canceled or delayed thus far?
So yesterday, I was writing the piece, in the morning, and during the time I was writing the piece, I could see the delays starting to crank up from, 1,200 to 1,400 to 2,000. It was 2,500 when I filed the story, and then by the end of the day, it was 7,000 delays, right? So as the day goes, that's my point I was making before. As the day goes on, it rises. Today, a little bit better. We're at 3 o'clock, and just before I got on with you, I saw that we were about 2,100 delays so far. And so it's less, but by the end of the day, it's going to be, we could end up at 5,500, 6,000, something like that. So it matters, Southwest already by 3 o'clock had 454 delays. American had 302. United had 238. So, I mean, it's a snowball kind of effect. And you should just expect, I think if you're flying, say, in the afternoon, just travel with your patients. Know that, they're always going to put safety first. So they're not going to take off until it's safe. If they ask for people to be bumped, that's because they need to get less weight on the plane. And they know what they're doing. So hopefully people will volunteer and just do that. But it's just a fact of summer travel. It seems to get worse every summer. We are in hurricane season right now. We have thunderstorms all over the place. And we're in a heat wave. So,
I was going to ask, we've been speaking with the folks at AccuWeather who are predicting a number of heat waves this summer. What's your expectation for air travel for the summer as a whole? Is it just going to be a terrible summer for the airports?
Well, I mean, I'm a little bit sympathetic to airlines when it's weather induced, because they can't do anything about that, right? And I think, usually handle these situations pretty well. We're not seeing the airline inflicted problems that we did from a couple of years ago and this year or last year because of things like, shortages and, there weren't enough pilots, there weren't enough, some of the parts, the planes, etc. A lot of those issues have been sorted out, mostly. So it's really weather, right? And I mean, one thing I would say is, don't fly to the Caribbean in the middle of September. That's the peak hurricane season, I mean, you can kind of guess. But the problem is that even if your locality, you go outside and you say, it's a beautiful day and the temperature is a mild 73. That doesn't really matter because, like I said before, everything is connected. So if there's a problem in Miami, that could affect your flight eventually. If you have an afternoon flight out of Seattle, you have perfect weather, but your plane didn't have perfect weather,